All right, what about now? Can you hear me now? Nobody can hear me. Great. Fantastic. All right, let's try something else real quick. All right, can you hear me now? Okay. All right, well, nice little beginning to that. Okay, so let me run through everything I just said. We do this every year on this channel. We Okay. We do this every year on this channel. This stream benefits domestic violence shelters, and what we do is we take care of the gifts for the holidays. Still getting things that say still getting things that say that it is no audio. Audio is good. Okay. All right. So let's try this again. We do this to benefit kids in domestic violence shelters, teens particularly, because the Marines take care of the little kids, but teens often get left out. What we've been doing the last couple of years is getting tablets and putting together a little package for them, including tablets. Beards out in front of the mic. That give them a place to kind of retreat to. You know, they're in a shelter, and even though this is a really good one, and they end up kind of separated in their own little places, they're still there with their entire family and with everything going on. Giving them full control over something, even though it's just a few inches of screen, it's beneficial to them, and we do it every year. This year, I kind of dropped the ball, and I have no idea how many we're raising money for this year. But I'm sure we'll do fine. As always, anything that's left over from this fundraiser will either go directly to the shelter to take care of other needs, or it will go to we'll go to another shelter or maybe an orphanage and do the same type of thing. Okay, so let's just dive in here and see where we're at. Thank you, Patrick Hoyle, getting us started off right. All right. Scrolling through all of this. There's Patrick again. Thank you, Julie Crabble. Thank you, Anna L.A. The need is greater now than ever. Thanks, Internet people and Bo. Thank you, Rebecca Chase. Thank you, HRAFNAF Freya. Thank you, Malinka. Thank you, Patrick Hoyle again. Making my coworkers watch this. Hi, coworkers. Ricky, I could hear you on the previous headset. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. That didn't go so well, but we've got it worked out now. Thank you, Keith Davies. I broke after all the stuff, but give a bit. Thank you. Thank you, Cool Granddaddy Sweets Forever. Happy holidays. I love the fact that some of y'all are here so often, I can actually recognize the screen names. Thank you, Leone Rose. Thank you for what you're doing. Appreciate the opportunity to help. Thank you, Kevin, a lesser. Sandoval Forge. Thank you, Ungato. Broke until midnight. Thank you, Danielle Jensby. Thank you, Naz. Thank you, Browats. Thank you, Nathan Russell. Thank you, Connie Pretch. Thank you, William Him. Thank you, Christina. Thank you, Linare W. Can you give us a hint on what you and we should be focused on for 2022? Thank you. Thanks to you and your team for all your hard work. I think we're going to have to focus a lot on voting rights and foreign policy aspects. There's going to be a lot of changes there. Now, the currency is from New Zealand, so maybe not voting rights for you, but here in the U.S., we're definitely going to have to pay attention to that. Thank you, Mike Schmitty. Thank you, ISIS9. Thank you, A Lumpy Horse. Thank you, Susan Kraft. Thank you, Iron Snowflake. Thank you, Lisa Fuqua. Thank you for doing this for the teens. We were waiting for this one. Yeah, I know. I'm running way behind on this. Thank you, Gia. Thank you, JV. Thank you. Wish when I had been homeless, there had been someone like you who cared. Thank you, Keith Davies. Wow. Thank you, Scott Halquist. I'm going to have this blasting out of my phone while I sip a beer at a hotel in a conservative St. Louis suburb. Nice. Tell them I said hi. Thank you, Susan Brown. Thank you, Joshua Reynolds. Thank you, T. Williamson. Thank you, Joshua Brown again. Thank you, Sherry Hurd. Thank you, Javin Rogers. Okay. But where do you get all of your great t-shirts? I need every single one. I have no idea. My wife gets most of them. When I'm out and I see one that's odd, I'll pick it up and say, hey, I can probably use this. Normally, she finds them, and I have no clue where they come from. Thank you, Trey Borer. Thank you, CET675. Gracias, Canolo. Yes, quick recap as people come back in. This is the yearly fundraiser to take care of gifts for teens in domestic violence shelters. Do we lose the House in the midterms? Depends on the elections. It's possible. It really is. But I think that there's going to be an economic turnaround and some other things that will motivate people to stay away from voting for the Republican side, because I think many of them are going to try to lean back into Trumpism, even though it failed last time. Thank you, Catherine Harris. Thanks for making these families' Christmas a bit brighter. Bless you and those supporting this very worthwhile call. Thank you, Andrew Shelton. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Jacob. Graduating university with a degree in computing. It's because of you that I got involved in my university DSA chapter. Nice. Thank you, Dresden White. Thank you, Stateless Patriot. Will you be doing a video soon on Ukraine or Russia? Probably. Short version is I'm seeing a whole lot of comparisons to like it being Cuba in the New Cold War, probably more like Germany, probably more like that's going to be the front line, at least in Europe. Let's see. Thank you, Julio Perez. Just wanted to thank you for all the good you do in keeping us all informed in regards to the rise of authoritarianism in America and abroad. Thank you, Midnight Man. Hello from Brooksville. Wish it could be more. Thank you, Kesono Farron. Have you ever read Why Does He Do That by Lundy Bancroft? I have not. CET675, thank you again. Thank you, Matthew Landris. Thank you, Kendra Crippen. Thank you, Burnt Reynolds. At some point, can you talk about Matt Gaetz' plan to make Trump Speaker of the House? Yeah. I mean, I don't really think there's a lot of I don't think there's actually a lot of effort to make that happen. I think that's more of Matt Gaetz kind of Trump, I'm still your buddy type of thing. It's more of a talking point. I don't think there's going to be any real push to make that a thing. Thank you, William Garvey. Thank you, Zach Fournier. Lorraine Hart. Do you have a PayPal or Cash App? YouTube takes a lot of super chats, and I'd like to give more. Okay, so yeah, YouTube does take a cut of the money y'all send in. The channel makes that up. So if y'all put in $1,000, YouTube takes like 300 of it, but the ad revenue from the channel gets put back in to replace it. So it's okay. It's fine. The reason I do it this way is because we've tried it through other like direct donation methods, and this way raises more money, and the channel comes out of pocket to fill in that gap. But it's okay. I'm not going to ask y'all to put money towards a cause that the channel won't. If you want to know how we do this, there is a video over on the other channel about this fundraiser that we do every year. We made it last year, and it carries step by step through the whole process. It's kind of cool to watch. Thank you, Be Strong. Do you think that there will be a fourth stimulus check? I really don't. I think that's done. Thank you, John Perrick. Rule 303. Thanks for all that you do, Bo. Your voice is important. Thanks to all the internet people. Thank you, Bert54. Thank you, Anthony Skira. Thank you, Joe Tonto. Thank you, Jerry Bailey, Doris Timko, Cher, Meta Studio. Thank you, Carolyn Bissonette. New subscribers since your Remembrance Day video, shared it with families and friends, and just wanted to thank you for what you do. Thank you, CET675, Bo 2024. Oh, please don't do that. No, I have no interest in being involved in that mess. Thank you, Mech Scrap Tracks. Oh boy, first black metal cassette listening session and now live Bo. It's a good day. Sorry, I don't have more to give right now. This all adds up really, really quickly. And we will get it done. Thank you, Davy Baby. Thank you, Catherine at H2O. Thank you, Still Alive. Do you watch Walsh? And any chance you might talk to him on a live stream one day? I mean, I'll talk to anybody. I don't really do a lot of the debate stuff like I've seen mostly on his streams. But I mean, yeah, I'd talk to him. Thank you, Bryce Dugan. Compliments on the beard. Thank you. Thank you, Emerson Lamb. Have considered doing a video on autism and an honest channel I always return to. Thank you. If you haven't seen it, we did one recently where I had somebody ask a question about autism, and I reached out to experts on autism and got nowhere. And then wound up actually talking to autistic adults and got all of the answers in minutes, where I had spent hours trying to get the answers from experts. It was pretty frustrating. Thank you, Wayne Weeks. Thank you, Brian. Solidarity forever. Thank you, Nyla. Thank you, Bad Pirate Monkey. Nice to see you again. Thank you, Evan Bailey. You're a huge inspiration, sir. Y'all keep me going. So that is definitely mutual. Thank you, Fallen Fairy Faye. Thanks for finding a less thought of age group to help. Thank you, Kairu and Mina. Thanks for all you do. Any suggestions for getting at-risk kids interested in community organizing and activism? I'm a civics teacher for at-risk kids. Start with the causes that directly impact them. And I've found that they very quickly get involved when they realize that they can impact things directly in their own life. And then it kind of feeds into other stuff. Like, it's one of those things, people, one of the most common questions I get is, how do I get active? I'm like, just pick anything and start. And once you start, you will find your niche. You will find your place where you fit in, and you'll have more to do than you can possibly imagine. Thank you, Pitchforks Dragon. Get the pitchforks. Thank you, Michael Jansen. Thank you, Demon Got Me. Thank you, SH. Thank you, Kyle Green. Today's my birthday, and we had to put one of our pups. Oh no. I'm glad I could be a reason for you to get back up. Yeah, that's horrible. It really is. Thank you, Be Strong. When do you think the pandemic will end? When we have a safe, reliable, effective vaccine or treatment that people take, that's and then over time there will be a slow shift and society will just kind of adjust to it. But we'll it's I would say we probably still have another year of ups and downs. It's no longer as bad as it was, but we're probably still going to have some after effects. Um, Thank you, Richard. Thank you for facilitating all this. I know you like to say that it is all of us who get this done, but without you, a lot of this could never happen. I'm a shipping clerk and love it. Thank you, Keith Davies. Also, look at modestneeds.com, a lovely charity. I will check it out. Thank you, Jake Slater. I'm reading Common Sense and Rights of Man by Tom Paine because of you. Keep up the good work. My mother and I love your videos. Rights of Man. Yeah, you're in for that's a long read. That's a long read. But it's worth it. Thank you. Not so. Keep doing that voodoo that you do. In LA, moms in Melbourne, love can still keep you going. Thank you, Malinka. Some advice. My mom isn't politically literate, but she cares about the issues that come up in political discourse. She doesn't think much international stuff is our business or concern, just of Ukraine. How do I help convince her otherwise? The first part of it's already recorded. It'll go out sometime this weekend, where we're doing a whole series on the new Cold War is basically what it's going to boil down to. And we'll go over a whole bunch of different aspects of it, and that might get her more interested. Thank you, Sven. What are we giving money for? Christmas presents, holiday presents for teens in a domestic violence shelter. Thank you, Virginia Smith. Thank you, Richard Howland. It's hard to stay positive regarding America, particularly with the Supreme Court right now, but your videos help. Thank you. Thank you, CET675. San Antonio, Texas, in the house. Thank you, Sarah Farlow. Thank you, Joe. We're shifting to opposition with China. Rhetoric is following suit. Do you see yellow peril rhetoric becoming more prevalent, and how to prepare if so? I don't. We got a sneak peek of what the messaging is going to be today. I'm not going to go too far into it, but it's not, it doesn't appear that they're going to limit it to China and make them the lightning rod for everything. It seems that they're going to try to frame it in a much broader perspective, which, I mean, the whole Cold War 2.0 thing, that's not good, but the messaging that's going to go out around it is, it kind of is. So we'll talk about that this weekend. Thank you, Sir Vagabond. Thank you, Lorraine Hart. Thank you, Aaron Meyer. Was approached by local Dems to run for office. Positive and negatives. Not really a Dem, but only progressive thing in my small town. Yeah, I feel you. If you think that you can actually make a difference, or even if it's just you can run and get enough votes to show that it's viable. If it's something that you want to do, yeah, do it. Don't let anybody stop you. If electoral politics is your thing and that's how you think that you can truly impact stuff, don't let anything stop you. As far as positive and negatives, for me, I don't know that I could do that. That's an entirely different world. It's very, I think it would be very easy to be corrupted. So just bear that in mind. Thank you, D123. Thank you, Joe Head. Thank you, Jennifer Gridley. Thank you. Much love to you and the internet people. Thank you, Fuji Khan. I just bought a house and can't afford, but I got to put something in for this cause. Thank you for all you do. Thank you. Thank you, DJ Smarty. Appreciate your videos. I watch every day. Do you think there's any way to change the messaging on business taxes by raising and tying small tax breaks to companies that decrease the gap between employees and CEOs? I don't I don't know if that would be effective or not. That's honestly the first time I've heard that. Maybe I'll I'll give I'll give that some thought and try to think about it. So thank you, CJ Highs. Thank you, Kimberly Casey. Thank you, Richard Tillman. Thank you, Bo, for reminding me that compassion can have a southern accent. we're out here. Thank you, Jacob Bailey. Thank you, Dr. Fuzzy Pants. From one fuzzy to another, keep fighting the good fight. Thank you, Rosalind G. DeSantos. Thank you for Bezella. I would like I stand grandma shirt. That Thanksgiving story, I've listened to it many times. It makes me so happy, right? That was awesome. And I have to admit, like you don't actually see that coming when you're reading the whole message. Like it's a nice little twist there at the end. Uh, Thank you, Rabin Trotabine. Thank you, Rick Summer. Wow. Thank you, Occam3132. Thank you for all you do. Your voice in an insane world. Thank you, Xtriv. Coming in late. Don't know what the fundraiser is for, but if you're backing it, it's got to be good. This is our yearly one. We're taking care of the holiday gifts for teens in a DV shelter. Thank you, Newfie Bullet. Thank you, Space Carrot. Hey, Bo, I wish there was more like you on the left. Put my pupper down. Oh, no. My phone did that thing where the screen jumped around. Put my pupper down last night as well. My mom is a Pelosi level dim, and it scares me. Yeah, I feel you. Bryce Hill, thank you. Hey, Bo, I really love that video on autism. As someone who works with people who have developmental disorders, it is insane how much science fails to try to understand people in an empathetic fashion. Right? Almost everything was geared towards curing, quote, it. And I was like, I don't think that's necessarily the best approach. Thank you, Antonio Gomez. Thank you, Ladame68. Your videos got me through my daughter's recent election campaign, which she lost by 1 vote. Ouch. Thank you, Emerson Lamb. At least the money's going to a good cause. Thank you, Pandora576. Thank you, Joanna. Thank you, Kevin C. This is my favorite fundraiser. People unwilling forget there are teens in these shelters and they deserve a nice Christmas. Yeah, this is like, without a doubt, this is my favorite thing that we do on the channel every year. And it's entertaining. Again, it's entertaining behind the scenes. Over on the second channel, we have the behind the scenes look. You know, last year, the excess money, the shelter told us that they really needed bras, you know? So I want you to picture me and Keith, who is, if you don't know, another tattooed, bearded guy, you know, going through the store with like a shopping cart full of bras and everybody staring at us laugh. Anyway, it's entertaining. Thank you, Christopher Cotton. It's doing that jump around thing. Seems like every time I let go of it. Scrolling back up here. Thank you, Maria R123. Thank you, Nanette Snowden. People here love your work. Thank you, Alberto Rolandi. Where can I write you an email when I have a specific question? There's an email in the about section of the YouTube channel, or at least there used to be. There was at some point. If not, you can send it through Twitter. Once on Facebook, I get Twitter is fastest. I'm going to try to set up something a little bit easier, some kind of method that's easier to get this stuff through. Thank you, Mel M. Thank you, Athena Prime. Thank you, Alan Summervold. Bo, thank you and the internet people for all you do. To the teens in a rough situation, happy holidays, and know that there are people out there who care. Keith Davies, thanks all y'all for donating. Makes me happy. Be strong. Do you think the stock market will bounce back? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the news from this morning uh, had to do with the unemployment claims, and they're the lowest in 52 years, something like that. I think there's going to be a strong economic recovery, um, and I think people are going to credit Biden for it. I mean, realistically, sure he helped, but the recovery was going to come anyway because of the quick decline because of the pandemic. It's one of those things like where everybody was crediting Trump for the rise in the stock market that started under Obama. This time, it's gonna benefit. It looks like it's going to benefit the Biden administration. Um, so yeah, I definitely think that we're going to see a turnaround when it comes to that kind of stuff. And let's see. Thank you, PJ Rod. Thank you, a handsome stranger. I just wanted to thank you for being a level-headed voice in these times. I've learned a lot about communicating effectively with others about current events from watching your video. Well, good. Thank you, Jacqueline Healy. Thank you, Jim Branscombe. I generally don't support YouTubers, but I'll make an exception in your case. Well, good. If you just joined, we're giving all this away anyway, so we're good. We're good. um, yeah, and I understand that. It is a little weird at times sitting on this side of it. um, thank you, Real Men Bankrupt Casinos. I'm here to chew bubblegum and give money, and I'm all out of bubblegum. Thank you, Benny Loco. Share democracy, share bell on all your social medias. Awesome, and hit that thumbs up. I love that y'all do my advertising for me because I'm so bad at it. Thank you, Lisa L. Thank you, Obvious Captain. The kids in this type of situation need to know there's good in the world, so they have something to look forward to. Yeah. Thank you, Lundy Pinner. Thanks for being a bright spot in the world. Thank you, Bourbon Socialist. I'm in a better financial spot than last year, so I'm happy to give more than the $5 I gave last time. Thank you, Bo, for organizing this, and thank you for my fellow internet people for being willing to donate. Thank you. Yeah, y'all really have made this channel, this community, like so much cooler than a lot of them out there, and it's weird that I still do end up getting all the credit for what y'all do. I mean, but thank you for that. Exercise and freedom. Thank you, Vernon McCall. Thank you, Chuck Atkins. Shout out to anti-authoritarianism. Thank you, a lumpy horse. Great community around Bo. Inspires activism. My scrappy little hometown of Charlottesville did some nice statue melting. Yeah. Put a video out on that this morning. It's great. If you haven't missed it, that was a hard one to get through without just laughing. Thank you, Trojan Brother. Thank you, OC Sticks. Thank you, Angie. Thank you, Newfie Bullet. Do you think that the overturn of Roe v. Wade could actually help Democrats? And what do you think about Canada banning conversion therapy? I think if the Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade, it's going to energize a lot of people that will be voting on they'll vote blue no matter who. They'll be that upset. I definitely think they're miscalculating. They've been fighting this battle for so long, Republicans, that they don't understand that the overwhelming majority of people now support Roe v. Wade being upheld. When this battle first started, when this became the political hot button, it wasn't like that. But now you're talking about 60, 70% of people wanting to keep that in place. And if they decide to remove it, they will probably pay for it. And then as far as banning conversion therapy, yeah, that's not therapy. So it doesn't surprise me that Canada did that. Thank you, Ross A. Love your videos. Hello from Canada. YouTube charging tax on my donation. Didn't know about that. That's wild. Thank you, Anthony Miller. How do you get Black, Hispanic, Latino Tina, interested in things like self-governance when we have bigger issues affecting us? Oh, that's hard. That's hard because when you think about it, when you start talking about self-governance, you start talking about a society in which there isn't a lot of accountability. And when you're talking about groups that have historically been targeted when there wasn't strong oversight and accountability, that it's a tough sell. Um, the most people I know that support self-governance, good terminology, um, that aren't white came to it from the position of, you know what, we can do better than they do at protecting us. So I don't know that that's very anecdotal, but that seems to be the route that most of them came to that are in my circle. It wasn't really that they chose to go that route. It was more of, you know what, we can handle this and they can't. So it's better for us to rely on ourselves than other people. Um, thank you, Puddles 420. Thank you, Veritino Vids. Um, Thank you for all you do. You've kept me from being a frothing at the mouth raving nutcase. Thank you, HI. Your content keeps me sane, knowing there are voices out there. Happy to be able to contribute. Thank you, Desiree Espinosa. Thank you, Moo Young. Can't think of a better thing to watch and participate with while designing some strong female characters for work right now. Hope this bit helps. It will. Thank you, Stephanie Huffaker. Thanks for all you do and using your platform to such a support a great cause. I love listening to your videos every day and hearing your take on what's going on. Thank you. Thank you, Cat B. Thank you, Phil Dyer. Thank you, Evan Layton. Thank you for providing hope in hopeless times. Wow. Thank you, Lucia Sabona. I love watching all your videos. You bring an amazing intelligent perspectives on the craziness of the world. And tell your wife she does an awesome job with your shirts. I will definitely make sure she's probably watching. I'll definitely bring it up though. Thank you, Philip S. You go make these kids happy. Thank you, Chancellor Leave It. There you go. Thank you. Thank you, Sheila Owens. Thank you, Frederick Kimling. Thank you, Fantasy Master 12545. Thank you, David Craig. Thank you, Element 114. I've had some luck with convincing more conservative leaning people of worker ownership using the phrase, the hunter should own the rifle. Could you do a video on general rhetorical strategies to shift people to the left? Yeah, I like that. That's good. Yeah, that's wild. I'm almost a little upset I didn't think of that. That's good. Thank you, Torley Bush. Love your channel and this cause. I wanted to plug the Appalachian Prison Book Project. It's an amazing organization focused on education and literature access in prisons in the region, and one I think you'd be behind. Absolutely. I'll definitely take a look. Thank you, Ouija 13. Favorite conspiracy theory just from entertainment value? The cryptozoology stuff, like Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, stuff like that from an entertainment standpoint, because realistically, there are animals out there that we don't know about yet. And I have a feeling at some point they're going to discover one that is even weirder than anything anybody's dreamed up. Thank you, Alberto Rolandi. Congrats on almost 200 million views. Wow. I didn't know that actually. Thank you. Thank you, Forbesilla. Sanitary products too, Bo. Yeah, it's just if anybody is going to make their own trip and donate to a DV shelter, sanitary products are always in need. Always. So definitely remember that and throw that in with your package. Thank you, Nia Jones. Thank you, Trickster. Thank you, Eric Sutman. Thank you, Be Strong. Do you think we will ever see universal health care in America? If so, when? Yeah, but I think it's going to be a while. If there was going to be a big push for it anytime soon, it would have happened during, the giant public health crisis. I'm amazed that it didn't. But to the contrary, what we had recently, what in Indiana, I think they introduced a bill to basically say that if you're not vaccinated, you have to pay out of pocket for everything. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, wow, I get it. You're mad and it's a deterrent, but you also understand that that's very counterintuitive to this. Right now, it still seems like there are a whole lot of people that are heavily invested in the idea of capitalism and the idea of having the whip, of being the person who's going to say you're going to do it this way. Um, I think until that's gone and we could just accept healthcare as a human right, that it's a long way off. Thank you, Aunt Squirrely. Thank you, Sean Diaz. Howdy from Gainesville, Georgia. Wow. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Derek Espinoza. Thank you, Matt Williams. Thank you, I Know Better Than You. Thank you, Ade Darmo. Thank you, Keith Davies. I don't know about that, Bo. Someone has to lead. Not getting me. Thank you, Nathan Ritchie. Thank you, Fluxy A. Thank you, Martin Lester. Thank you, Mary Baines. Thank you, Safekeeper. Greetings from the socialist workers' paradise of Norway. You know what? I just heard what the Prime Minister of Finland did. Yeah, that's my new favorite. I'm going to be honest. That whole the Prime Minister left her work phone at home and went to the club till 4 o'clock in the morning. That's awesome. That's what I'm talking about. Spike Love, thank you. This is money that could have been made from. Nice. Thank you, the Jack of all travels. Thank you, Jen S. First job out of college was working overnights at a DV shelter. Great cause and kudos for your thoughtful approach. Keep fighting the good fight from a lefty Christian. Thank you, Damon. A small gift from two trans folk in Colorado. You have been so helpful in keeping us focused and engaged. I'm a therapist and have sent you to lots of LGBTQ folks who need info and commentary without anger. Well, thank you. Thank you, Timothy Fee from the Fees. Thank you, William Main. Thank you, Craig Vandervinter. Thanks for contributing to my mental health. Thank you, Jason Treat. I love what you do. Sometimes it seems like the whole world has gone insane, but just the fact that you present well thought out commentary with verifiable facts gives me hope for humanity. Wow. Thank you, Ida Bahillo. Are there any organizations a leftist in Northwest Florida can get involved with? Depends on where you're at. There are some in Pensacola. Normally, it's like a little coffee house down near where the University Club used to be, or not University Club, Emerald City, something like that. Yeah, Emerald City used to be. There's a little coffee house down there that's somewhere based out of, and then once you leave the Pensacola area, you don't run into any again until you get to Tallahassee. And as far as public facing ones, there's a bunch of mutual aid networks, but you have to like meet people to get into them. Thank you, Space Karen. Your take on less than lethal home defense. I mean, that's a wide topic. It generally, I have a video where it's something like, let's talk about buying a gun out of fear of political violence, something like that. They go step by step through the process of choosing a firearm and then basic strategies. And the way I look at home defense in general is that you're pretty much abandoning everything but human life anyway. So, you're not locking down your living room. If somebody breaks in, you're waiting at the hallway to the bedrooms. You're not going to to risk anything over that. So from the strategy that I would suggest, at that point, it's lethal or nothing. Um, so I I don't know. I mean, it would depend on the strategy that you're using. Thank you, Bose Einstein 7. Will a GOP majority overturn a 2024 POTUS win? Maybe. You see some legwork going on by Trump to do that, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's a risk. It's something that we should definitely continue to watch, but I don't think it's as certain as people might imagine. Uh, Thank you, Pakanot. Hate Dems but love you. Thank you, Nixie. I'm a bit scared of your. I'm a bit scared, and your analysis always calm me down. Can you please give me some thoughts on Voss's coverage of Russian amassing troops, please? I haven't seen it. I don't know what he said. I've been watching it. It's not a huge, we've seen buildups and drawbacks like this before. This one is lasting a little bit longer than normal. So there is cause for concern, but it's just now hitting the point where I'm like, that this probably should have backed down by now. But it's the reality is that from a strategic standpoint, if Russia wanted to move into Ukraine, they could, and they would succeed in very short order as long as the West didn't intervene. If that was their goal, I feel like they would have just done it. They wouldn't have given the West time to move troops into position. It almost seems like they are rattling the cage to see the Western response. Thank you, VFC. Advice for taking first step in content creating. I have a video called "Let's Talk About Your YouTube Channel" that has all the advice that I could think of at the time. The biggest first step is do it, and then don't stop. that's it. Start, and then just continue to do it. You're going to make mistakes. Just keep pushing through. Do not, once you start, don't stop, because once you stop, you'll stop forever. So start and don't get discouraged. Thank you, Annie Rose. Just got here, so I'm not sure what we're contributing to, but if it's Bo, this is our normal fundraiser we do this time every year. So we're raising money for teens in a domestic violence shelter to get them holiday gifts. Thank you, Royalty. Happy to support a very worthy cause. Thank you, Heather Shell. Thank you for being a voice of reason from a place that looks like my daddy's shed. Yeah, that fits. Thank you, Leslie Edgley. Thank you, Colorful Beauty. My sister was a runaway and is getting her MBA next year. Support works for good. Thank you, Betsy Wingert. Thank you, Murph. Thanks for a daily dose of reason. Thank you, Emerson Lamb. Can you make a video about autism, age, race, and the military in one? I was diagnosed by the military. Life been worse since the discharge, and a lot of older people don't seem to get autism, which is aggravating. Yeah, I bet it is. I'll try. I'll try to work that in. Thank you, Turkey Pedal. Thank you, Mountain Time 2000. Thank you, Felicia McRae. Thank you, Chelsea Workentine. Thank you, John Ward. Thanks for always. I'm from Ireland, and it's always useful when you address a specific problem. The solution is often universal. Thank you, Right Lane Ends. Thanks for all you do. It means a lot to have a fellow leftist who sounds like me. Makes me less ashamed of my southern drawl. Yeah. Oh, I feel that. If y'all don't know, I hid my accent for years. Thank you, Mato Man. Thank you, Mahuma. Wow, I'm never going to get that. 00MAHARUM00MA. What do you think the chances are that 2024 can't be ratified in time because of disputes? It's a possibility, but I have a feeling that what's going to happen between now and then, it's either going to make it a 100% certainty that no matter what, the Republicans are going to try to overturn the election and install a Republican, or they're going to completely back off of it. So we'll see. Thank you, A Lumpy Horse. Let's get this channel to 1 million subscribers. Hit that like, y'all. And in all seriousness, congratulations, Bill, on how fast this channel is growing. Yeah. I don't know if that's a reference to what I said on Twitter, but yeah, when we get to 1 million subscribers, we're going to try to start our own nonprofit. Thank you, Jasmine B. Thank you, Real Men Bankrupt Casinos. Thank you, Twinner42. Thank you, Derek Weathersby. Thank you, the Great Czar N. I have the means to help, so I help. Thank you, Ronald Cross. Enjoy a sane voice mud. All the sideshow hucksters. Thank you, HM. Unapologetically Black and unashamedly Christian. Thank you for all you do. No Pants Man. Thank you. Thank you, Commander Hole in Your Head. Link available to allow corporate matching. Now, this is something that we do kind of on the side. We don't have anything like that set up, although that's probably something we should look into. Thank you, Larry Hoop. Thank you, sir, for the Fox News Christmas tree fund. Yeah, that was lit. Mike Y, thank you. Thank you, Tom Apartment. Thank you, Daffy Cakes. My mother hates your beard, but loves the way you word things and how you explain why people think a certain way. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Thank you, Harl, supporting you in the charities you support. Thank you, Tenderleaf from Belgium. Thank you, Obvious Captain. Anybody in the central North Carolina area want to help me locally? I'm new in the area, so hit me up. That's Obvious Captain. Thank you, Shannon Cohen, ex-small town Kansan here. What do you think of the rapid change in rural conservative U.S. mental state? Yeah, it's sad seeing people I grew up with turn so hateful and isolated these last few years. There's a lot of people that have fallen down those silos, and it has just reinforced their it's reinforced and changed their beliefs. And it's happened a lot. And I don't know that it's so much of a mental state as it is an ideological shift, because they have chosen to isolate themselves around people who make money by trying to be the most extreme person in the room. So thank you, Doug. Bo 2024, Make America Informed Again. Thank you, Mike Edmondson. Thank you, John Van Zantvert. Thanks from across the pond. Nice to have some sober insights. Thank you, Simon Tassano. Is that sound I hear, the chomping of teeth as they begin to eat each other? Thank you, Bo. Yeah, you're seeing a lot of that. They're definitely taking shots at each other now. Thank you for all you do for a fan from upstate New York. That's Tanya Bush. Thank you. Thank you, Jeff Borst. You're one of the most lucid voices on the net I've heard. Thank you. Thank you, Commander Head in a Hole. That name, Hole in the Head. No problem. Allowing matching would be neat. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, Rai Shinhan. Whew. Okay. Thank you. There's Doug down there. Thank you for not attempting to butcher my name. Yeah, I wasn't even going to try that. No, Uh, okay. Thank you, Nanette Snowden, again. Howdy again, Bo. I forgot to mention that your Yellowstone episode was absolutely hilarious. Yeah, and I tell you, I may do an entire episode just reading the hate mail that came in for that. People got mad, but mainly because it wasn't even that they were denying it at that point. They were just mad that I pointed it out. It was like, thanks, you ruined one of my favorite shows by letting me know. I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you. Um, thank you, Larnie Noland. Well, howdy there, Bo. It's an internet person again. Thanks for being part of the solution. Thank you, Brian Schmidt. Thank you, Commander Hole in the Head. Just so you can mess up my name again. uh, all right. Okay. So, what's going on? We're right at an hour now. Okay. So, if you are just joining, because we're now up to 1,000 people, this is benefiting a domestic violence shelter. The idea is we're going to buy Christmas gifts for teens because teens often get overlooked by other programs. And so we'll end up buying them tablets, is typically what we do, and then drop it off. And it gives them something that they have a lot more control over. They have their own little space that they can kind of retreat into if they need to. Thank you, Dayblade57. I wish more people would approach thinking about a topic the way you do. I love, even if all of that were true moments, right? Yeah, let's just pretend it's true. Thank you, Christian Reese. Greetings from Norway. Have you considered doing a video series reading and explaining the contents of the U.S. Constitution for the Roads channel? Yes, that's actually in the works. We're going to go article by article, section by section, and just go through the entire thing, because there are, for as many people talk about, we're going to follow the Constitution, save the Republic, restore the Constitution, and all that. Most people have no idea what's in it, and I've come to that conclusion now. Thank you, Vilbit. Much love from Virginia. 20 for you, 20 for my local shelter. Wonderful. Thank you, Keith Davies. My buddy that I sent a video of yours said you needed to take that red pill. I was like, buddy, I can't help. Thank you, Roy Ethel. You helped keep me sane the last year, and your insights are helping me stay sane going forward. Thank you, Ignatus. Thank you, Ricky Moore. Thank you, PJ McMurray. Thank you, Paul Christie. I added up those 5 cents for every time you cheered me up or riled my enemies, and I'll just leave it here for whoever needs it. Thank you, Vermin Jerky. I switched to my other account so you read my favorite username out loud. Vermin Jerky. All right. Thank you, Mary Brown. You're the sharpest tool in the shed. Yeah, I need to sharpen a lot of those back there. Thank you, Dangerous Days. My grandma is a Soviet expat and believes that Putin is right and that Ukraine was the provocateur the entire time. She believes what RT tells her. How do I convey that she's being fed a narrative? I would start by showing all of the instances in which you can demonstrate that RT receives funding directly from the Russian government. Now, what you may have a hard time overcoming this, because people who grew up in the Soviet Union, they look at Putin in this weird nostalgic light, because he, in a way, represents the best of the Soviet times and found a way to move into the modern era and all of that. And I've heard this a couple of times. And then generally he does convey that stereotypical Russian strongman who's trying to make the hard decisions and look out for his people, and he does it very well. Um, so his the portrayal of his image and how it comes across, it's really effective. Um, so thank you, Minnie Chulu. Thank you, Laney Lou. Thank you from rural Minnesota. Thank you, Ava Roberts. Thank you, Adrastia. Adrastia. Uh, from Tennessee. Thank you, C. Ellis. Thank you, and Annette Martinez. Thank you for keeping me sane. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Andrew Lazenby. Thank you, ISIS9. Have you ever considered writing a book teaching parents, teachers, and anyone that works with kids how to become independent thinkers, more compassionate human beings, and politically engaged? We have, so I'm working on a giant book line. There's like 4 different books that are being written right now. And the idea, they're going to go through different methods, but it's the same type of stuff I do on the channel. So those are coming. It's taking much longer than I expected because we started a whole bunch of projects at once, and now they're all catching up with us, but we're getting there. Thank you, Feral Human. Thank you, Saleech67. Salick, sorry. Thanks for all you do. P.S. My name is pronounced Salick. Thank you, Camo Klein. Yeah, the rethugs especially get mad when you bring up Article 6, Section 3, no religious test for public office. Thank you, Kenny Starr. You've quickly become my favorite YouTuber. Well, thank you. Thank you, Nixie, again. Thank you so much for your kind reply. Long overdue, but I became a patron. Is there any chance to please receive a functional, non-expired Discord link? Yes, I will do that. That link goes down constantly. I'll post a new one. Thank you, Martin Parm. Greetings from Sweden. As a European, it's scary to watch the U.S. tear itself apart and not be able to do anything to help. So this is the least I can do. I know you put it together, Lise. Thank you. Thank you, B42 in depth. Thank you for combating ignorance. There's a lot of it, and it's the most scary thing in my honest opinion. Hey, brother, long time. That's from Arash. I hope all is well. Losing hope in our people. Any suggestions? Just a little bit every day. Keep going. You can't let it get you down. Easier said than done, all right? Focus on the little wins. Thank you, Thomas Kollendorfer. Bo, I'll do another 100 if you do a video in a white beard. Do a Christmas video. Thank you, Keith Davies. Love all y'all, Bo. It's going to make this a reality. You don't have to thank me for this. Thank you, Tracy Benbrook. Thank you, M. Linoge. Ho, ho, ho from overseas. You're the only one consistently making sense. Thank you for doing your part to make the world a better place. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Nick, a beauty queen's bag. Thank you. Could you talk about employers who have returned to the office but have lacked mask requirements and no vaccine requirements? It's all an honor system with no oversight to express concerns. Yeah, I mean, yeah. At this point, especially after the activities of what happened in the Senate today, the idea of mandates, those are gone. That's gone. Now, mask requirements are probably going to come back as it gets colder because the case numbers are going to go through the roof. Thank you, Alyssa Hollister. Great cause. I wanted to comment on the red pill note. Red pill is estrogen and blue pill is an antidepressant. Taking it means accepting being trans. There you go. Any advice on college? A year seems so insanely expensive, but a community college seems inaccessible, and not going to college at all feels like a death sentence. Yeah. Um, yeah. Um, you know, the process of figuring out your educational path is at times more educational than any of the classes. Teaches you more about how the world's going to work in real life. I, I, I'm one of those people who advocate for everybody to become a perpetual student. I definitely think some form of education beyond high school is good. I would always support that in any way. And yeah, it's hard. Like anybody who's going to tell you that it's easy to do it, they probably had a lot more resources. It's difficult, but it is worth it. So thank you, ET himself. A little hope for the young ones, as usual. Thank you, Uche. Thanks, Bo. You're an inspiration, sir. Thank you, Neasley B. Glad to support this cause. Thank you, Jason Oldenbutel. Thank you, Logan Griffith. Thank you, Beth T. Just found your channel this week. Raised conservative and right and take a big swing liberal and left. But your channel has caused me to critically look at some points I just accepted at face value. Thank you, Ellen Castro. Okay. Okay. So we're definitely over an hour now. And what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this up now. And then we may, if we need to, once I find out how many kids there are this year, we may come back and do another one of these streams at some point in the next few days. So I really appreciate everybody's help, everybody's assistance, and thank you, Scott Proctor. Thank you, Natasha Nix. Thank you and your wife for everything you do. Yeah, she pulls a lot more weight than I think she gets credit for. And thank you, Jonathan Cutts. Thank you, Karina. Thank you, Dina Boyd. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna wrap it up, and we'll go from there. Thank you, Alicia O'Toole, Manuel Suarez. But we will probably end up doing another one of these in the next few days, especially if, as anticipated, there are more people in the shelters than typical. Thank you, Studio JLP. Your insights are much appreciated. Looking forward to the books. Thank you for reaching out to the teens affected by DV. Thank you. Okay, so that's going to be it for the day. It's just a thought. Oh, wow, hang on, a whole bunch more coming back in. Thank you, Alicia O'Toole. Thank you, Manuel Suarez. Thank you for de-radicalizing me a few years back. Well, I'm glad it helped. Thank you, Thomas Williams. Thank you, Keith Davies in Alyssa's name. Thank you, a mini Chutlu. Thank you, Studios JLP. Thank you, Aqua Funk. Thank you, Paul Christie, for Nick, who turned me onto the fifth column. Thank you, Katie Z. Thank you, Christian Reese. All right. Okay. And anyway, that's just a thought. Y'all have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.